And Russia's foreign minister has called a Thai court's decision to extradite the suspected Russian arms baron Viktor Bout to the U.S. political. Sergei Lavrov also said the ruling was made under pressure from, in his words, the outside. He added Moscow would seek to bring Bout back to Russia. A Thai appeals court delivered the final verdict after a lower court rejected Washington's extradition bid. The ruling says Bout will be sent to American soil within 3 months. He was arrested 2.5 years ago in Bangkok in an elaborate operation led by U.S. agents. Washington wants Bout on charges of terrorism and supplying arms to Colombian rebels, allegations he denies. Katerina Azarova has more.
What do you expect to hear today?
People on the planet.
Hollywood's Lord of War.
There are over 550 million firearms in worldwide circulation. That's one firearm for every 12 people on the planet. The only question is, how do we arm the other 11?
And his alleged real-life prototype. Russian businessman Viktor Bout, nicknamed the Merchant of Death, denied all accusations of arms selling and laughed off parallels.
I feel very sorry for Nicolas Cage, who went to play this Orlov. It's very silly, and I feel pity for... It's bad movie.
His statement never changed, even when it came from behind bars in the infamous Bangkok Hilton. He was arrested in Thailand in March 2008 in a joint sting operation by local and U.S. authorities.
He was apprehended in the final stages of arranging the sale of millions of dollars of high-powered weapons to people he believed to represent a known terrorist organization, the FARC.
Not many people were willing to give Bout the type of credit given to him by American prosecutors.
He's possibly a merchant of some death, but he certainly isn't the man the US media would call the Merchant of Death. I mean, Victor ran quite a large airline operation mainly in Africa, and I would think that 95% of his flights were ordinary commercial goods. I know he flew televisions, he flew washing powder, all sorts of things. So we're only talking about 5% of the cargoes possibly being arms, and even flying arms is not itself illegal.
In the long and drawn-out extradition hearing that took over 2 years, the United States changed, added, and modified their charges against Mr. Bout to include violating international trade law as well as arms trafficking. His family believes at some point it became a process for the process instead of a process for justice.
Friday's court ruling shows that Thai justice is entirely under US pressure. There's no justice as such. Work done for previous hearings over a year and a half clearly showed there's not enough evidence of my brother's guilt, but for some reason it turned out to be enough for the appeals court. The US kept pressing the Thai court, the prosecutor general, and then the senator signed a letter to Thailand's ambassador warning of the consequences if my brother is released. This again shows that Viktor Bout's case is political and not criminal.
Bout's trial and tribulations have been as closely followed by the media as Hollywood's version of the life of the Merchant of Death. Unlike a scripted movie, there are no punchy closing lines, thoughtful soundtracks, or a list of all those involved in production. A list that many believe is even more interesting than the lead man himself. Katerina Azarova, RT, Moscow.